It's currently 8:46 p.m. I'm currently working on the polystyrene drawing project. What I'm most likely to do next is essentially outline the very top of the boots, since in a way the boots are in front of the knee pads. I did this line for the top of the knee pads so that I could do these details at the top of the jeans, which are intended to be brown. The first things I recall doing was first finishing the pattern for essentially the threads of the zipper, the links of the zipper, and then I decided to do this pattern for the belt based off the reference image of an ostrich pattern charcoal gray bonded leather belt silver tone buckle. That's the reference image that's based off that I used to make the belt, but I didn't follow the reference image exactly. I recall doing those first things during the early morning hours. Today I really did pull an all-nighter since I didn't go to bed during the night. No particular reason other than my sleep schedule. Currently has it so that I'm up during the night and sleep during the day. I recall going to bed around 7 and 8 in the morning. Sometime after Dad left for work. Today, and I recall waking up around 1:30 p.m. This is a nacho platter Dad made using things that he got from Wegmans today. He also got some of these. these kombucha spritzers, which is technically now part of the dinner, though initially I had one prior to the dinner coming out by at least an hour. And over the past hour or so, I've been sipping at this kombucha spritzer while working on the current polystyrene drawing project. Although now I may decide to work on editing and uploading U-Cut video projects in order to catch up on the backlog of videos. For my YouTube channel. I got this fork in case I end up with more toppings than chips. Around 6:15 in the morning, I had a peanut butter and jelly bagel sandwich that Dad made for me entirely. And was toasted considerably from when it was put in the toaster. It had some brown to it. Unlike what usually happens when I try to toast bagels, in which it pretty much just gets hot. Even though sometimes I do intend to brown it at least a little. With that, I had another of the cranberry nut almonds that Dad got from Wegmans the other day during an earlier Wegmans grocery shopping trip. Not during today's trip. And I had the first cup of coffee from the morning pot Dad made. Today, my first cup with that breakfast. recall having 2 full cups and a third partial cup of plain coffee. Roughly from 6:15 in the morning since before sipping at that cup I waited for breakfast to be ready, even though the coffee was made. It was finished at least 2 minutes before the peanut butter and jelly bagel sandwich was fully prepared. And I finished the last of the coffee around 8 to 9 in the morning. Eight to 9 in the morning. I'm going to go with 8 in the morning, more likely. Then I went to bed. Woke up around 1:15 p.m. And then around 3:15 p.m. I toasted what was left of the fried dough me and Dad got from Salvatore's the other day in our toaster. And with that toasted leftover fried dough, I recall having my 2-pack of full-size Twix candy bars. That I had left in the freezer section of our refrigerator. in order to make it crunchier, essentially. Along with a small handful of the sour pumpkin candies that Dad's mom gave to us the other day. And I had a glass of milk exactly like this one. Well, with all of that. Though that glass of milk, whole milk, started out full. The glass of milk I had with lunch was in a glass exactly like this one, but it was in a different one. And after I finished that lunch glass of milk, I filled it with room temperature tap water. And I pretty much only very recently finished that glass of water over a couple of hours or so. Finishing the last sip of it when the nacho platter first came out. And I also recall having a glass of milk like this with the first cup of coffee that I had in the morning. Though I had that cup of coffee, plain coffee, and the glass of milk separately. And I recall finishing that breakfast glass of milk before I finished the first cup of coffee. Between the last part and this part, I got to watch a majority of the film Midway off of Dad's TV with Dad in the living room. It happened to be playing from the very start, which seemed very fortunate to me, and had been wanting to watch the film with my dad for months. It was a minor goal of mine, would think about it every now and then. And I'm glad I finally got the opportunity, though we didn't finish the film kind of right at the climax or so before Dad decided to go to bed today. I've got Mergenist Kingdom running in the background on another tab. My Congregate tab. And it's pretty much the only game I've gone on. other than a little bit of this and a little bit of Queen's Blade Limit Break, since I want to focus on working on the polystyrene drawing project.